Welcome to Charting the Day. I show you how I make money trading stock options. Today, I'm going to be showing you my cheat sheet, or this FinGrad cheat sheet for chart patterns. Doing something a little special. I'm going to enter for one MES contract at the current price, and we'll see how much we make by the end of this video. I'm clicking buy now, and it is currently 6:08, and I'm immediately down $1.25. If you know why, comment down below, or you can pause the video and answer. The reason why I am down $1.25 immediately is because of the price of my commission. So commission prices will always be taken out right at the beginning of your stock entry, which is why it's important to know exactly where you want to enter into, because you immediately enter in the negative. Regardless if you make money or lose money, if you make 1,000 or lose 1,000, your broker specifically is going to get that commission from you, which is basically the money they charge you to be able to place a trade. Now on futures, it is normally $1.25, $1.45, but it is also important that you remember that it's different every time you buy a contract, but I'm only buying one contract, so that's my commission. Now, let's get into chart patterns. I wanted to put this onto my iPad actually to show you it on the chart in real time. I have to figure that out a different way now because I cannot get this image onto my trading view, but I can still easily explain everything that's going on here, and I cannot wait to show you. So the first things we're going to look at is we're going to start to group up what's going on. Okay, so we're going to group up certain patterns so that we can start to see them really, really easily. So there are two types of patterns. There are reversals and there are continuations. Okay, so the reversals are going to be anything that goes back. Gonna go back to the same direction. Okay, and a continuation means let's just call this pit stop and continue. Okay, this is so important because every chart pattern, okay, regardless of how complicated these all look, every single chart pattern can be put into either a reversal or a continuation. Okay, so reversal is going back to the same direction. Let's just call it a U-turn. So when you're driving down the street, all right, this is our road. What do we do when we're in the wrong direction and we are trying to get to the mall, but the mall is on the opposite side of the street and we're trying to get over there? We take a U-turn, we head this way. We're taking a different street, right? But we're going back to our original direction, which is down here. Awesome. Now, when we think about a continuation, that is almost like a stoplight, a right turn, and then going down the street again. So you're going down the street, and then there's a stoplight here, right? So there's like the lights, and you stop, and then once you stop, you go take a right turn, and then you curve back onto this street. Okay, so as you can see, we had a little stopping point, but the direction stayed the same. That is a continuation. And that is so important that you must know these things before you start to look at chart patterns, because it doesn't matter how complicated chart patterns look, they're either going to be a continuation or a reversal. Now, the easiest way that I learned about chart patterns and reversals was particularly just knowing how they form. Okay, so I'm going to show you how they form basically bullish and bearish. So with reversals, there are going to be bull reversals and there are going to be bear reversals. For continuations, there's going to be bull continuations and bear continuations. So there's technically 2 types of each in 2 categories. So the 4 categories of chart patterns that we have are bull reversals, bear reversals. I guess that's the same letter, but, and then we, well, that doesn't really help, but bull reversals, bear reversals, bull continuations, and bear continuations. So as long as you understand those 2 things, right? As long as you know the 4 chart patterns that we can see, all of this is going to make a lot of sense to you. So the first thing we're going to do, let's look at the first one that we have here. I'm going to erase this here, and now let's get started. So the very first thing, and we're still down $1.25. Now we're up $3.75. Awesome. So, which is 0.01%. Now we're at $2. We're down to $1.25. And actually, you could probably track this trade. It is at 699.50. So if you look at the time of when I started recording the video, which is at 6:09, and you go back and look at December 25th, you'll be able to see exactly what's going on, which is super cool. So with your bullish flag, what does this word flag mean? As you can see, we have a bullish flag and a bearish flag. So a flag is basically the continuation. Okay, so as you see, our entry is up here, our entry is down here. Why? Because we're going in the same direction, just taking a little bit of a pit stop. So our and basically your entry is wherever we think the line's going to go, right? So if I enter here, that's not because I'm expecting it to go down here, right? I'm entering expecting it to go up, entering expecting it to go down. And I'm just going to draw this for all of them. Basically, wherever you're entering is where you're expecting the line to go. This was also really helpful for me to know that wherever the line is where you're expecting it to go. The line of entry is where you're expecting it to go. Okay? So basically, when you see an inverted head and shoulders, know you're taking calls. When you see a regular head and shoulders, know you're taking puts. Okay? Anything that's going down, which is like this one, 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 right? All of those you're taking puts, and anything that is an up direction, you're taking calls. So now we are understanding what we're going to actually see. So how do we know what is what? So we're going to go through and see which ones are reversals and which ones are continuations. This is a reversal. This is a continuation. This one is also a continuation. This one is a reversal because we're going down and then we're going in the same direction of where we started. Okay, this is where we started. So we're going in the same direction of where we started. So that's a reversal. Those are both reversals. So I'm going to do circles for the reversals. Actually, let me just change the color. So this is a reversal. The next one is going to be, let's even just do this better because it's going to be confusing doing it like that. But you're essentially just going in the direction of where you started. Okay. There you go. Okay. Now the next one that we're seeing is going to be a continuation. Why? Because we started here and we're going farther away from where we started. Started here. So, and then we're going to go farther away from where we started. Okay. Again, going farther away from where we started. We're not going back to where we started. We're going farther away. So basically, your reversals are going to be closer to the starting point. Let's just call this the start point. And your continuations are going to be farther from start point. Okay? So is the bearish pennant farther or closer to the starting point? It's farther. So it's going to be reversal. Our double bottom is going back to the same direction, closer to where we started. So that's going to be a reversal. I switched the colors. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Ignore the colors here because I definitely wrote those in the wrong color. But this is a reversal. Like, the reversal should be red. And the continuation should be yellow. The double bottom is going back to where we started, which means it is a reversal. This is going back to where we started, 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 going the opposite direction, going the opposite direction, going back to where we started, going back to where we started. Same thing. Down here, these are a bit more interesting. Why? Because these can go in either direction, okay? So if you are beginning in trading, even for myself, I don't focus on looking for symmetrical triangles, broadening patterns, diamond patterns, any type of triangle, symmetrical triangles, asymmetrical triangles, because they can break up or down, and those are a bit trickier to catch. So if you just focus on all of these, which are seen every single day, they're very, very common to see them. So it's not like if you look at only these ones at the top, these first 3 rows, that you won't ever find a trade. You will find a trade, especially if you trade SPY. I see these every single day. So don't be afraid of that. But yeah, so I hope this video was very helpful when it comes to chart patterns. This is everything that helped me to understand that. Again, let's just recap the things that we know. So reversals are going to be our U-turns, basically going back in the same direction as where we came from, and they are going to be going closer to our start point. Our continuations are going to be our stoplights, and we just keep going in the opposite direction. So we're just following the same road. So we're going, instead of a U-turn, we're going in the opposite direction. Well, that's not technically the opposite direction. Let's just say in comparison to a U-turn, it's continuing in the same direction. It's basically stopping and continuing in the same direction. And then, because it's not just going to be a straight shoot up, right? We need to like go up, take a little break at our stoplight, and then keep going up the street. We're going down the street, take a little stop at the stoplight, go down the street, okay? So it's going to be the same direction with a stop, whereas a reversal is our U-turns. It's going to be going farther away from our start point. Start point. Also, if you want to catch bigger moves, definitely start catching continuations, because the fact that it's farther away from where you started creates a big gap, and that allows you to make more money because it's farther away from where you started, which is awesome and really great for when you're trying to start trading. We're currently down $5. We're down $7.50. So yeah, that's literally all you need to know to be able to identify your chart patterns. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you.